Greetings, mortals. You have wandered where you do not belong, but it is too late to turn back now. You are here, and the lost have been waiting. Some tales are forgotten with time. Others are buried, suffocated beneath layers of silence, waiting for the right ears to hear them again. This is one such tale, a story not of what was found, but of what was left behind. A village, a people, erased.
November 1930. The Arctic reaches of Nunavut, Canada, a place where the wind speaks in whispers, and the cold consumes everything. Few dared travel these lands alone. But for a fur trapper like Joe LaBelle, isolation was familiar. LaBelle had been to Angikuni Lake before. The Inuit village was always a place of warmth and welcome amid the endless snow. The people there were skilled hunters, surviving in the frozen wilderness through generations of knowledge passed down by their ancestors. They had no reason to leave. Yet on this night, as LaBelle approached the settlement, something felt wrong. He expected the familiar glow of firelight flickering from the huts, the distant murmur of voices carried by the wind. But there was nothing, no sound, no movement. The village stood dark, silent, abandoned. Cautiously he stepped forward. There were no footprints in the snow, no signs of struggle, just a village frozen in time. He entered the first hut. The fire had long since died, but embers still smoldered faintly in the hearth. Furs were neatly arranged, bowls of food left untouched, as though their owners had intended to return at any moment, but no one ever did. LaBelle moved from home to home. Each one told the same story. Personal belongings were left undisturbed. Hunting gear remained in place. The villagers had not packed up and moved. It was as if they had simply ceased to exist. Then, he found the dogs. Sled dogs, strong, resilient creatures, were still tied to their posts, but they were dead, frozen solid in the snow. Their bodies were contorted, their mouths open as if caught mid-howl. The animals had not died from exposure. They had died from something else. And then, at the edge of the village, the graveyard, several burial sites had been unearthed, not by scavengers. The graves were torn open, their contents missing, but the surrounding snow was undisturbed. No tracks, no claw marks, nothing to indicate what had taken the bodies. LaBelle knew he had seen enough. He turned and fled into the night. The next day, he reported what he had found to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. A search party was sent to investigate. What they found only deepened the mystery. The RCMP confirmed LaBelle's account. The village was completely deserted. The fires had been left burning low. Food remained on tables. The sled dogs were dead. The missing bodies from the graves were never recovered. There were no signs of violence, no evidence of an attack. What could make an entire community vanish without a trace? Some believe the villagers were taken by the Tornrarsuk, malevolent spirits from Inuit folklore that steal people away in the night, leaving no sign of their passing. Others claim they were victims of an unknown force, something ancient and hidden within the ice, watching, waiting. Skeptics argue that the explanation is far simpler, that the villagers abandoned their homes due to extreme weather or a food shortage. But if that were the case, why leave behind supplies? Why leave the dogs to die? And what of the graves? No definitive answer was ever found. The Angikuni mystery remains unsolved. Some say that if you travel to the lake today, you may hear faint voices carried by the wind, a whisper of those who once lived there, and perhaps something else, something that does not leave footprints.
The cold has a way of keeping secrets, mortals. It buries them beneath ice and time, waits for the curious to come too close. And when they do, it takes them too. Perhaps they are still out there, trapped in the dark, waiting. Perhaps you will hear them in the silence. Until next time, should you dare return,